Sorry.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I would like to welcome you all to the Community Redevelopment Agency regular meeting. It is Tuesday, October 9th. It's 5:30 p.m. Call the roll, please.
Chairman James.
Here.
Vice Chairman Harris. Here. Board Member Brandemart.
Here.
Board Member Grace.
Here.
Board Member Salvino. CRA Director Williams.
Here.
City Attorney Ansbro.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Seeing that all these comments are for item 7, I am going to reserve these so we can get through this meeting quickly. So we'll go to administrative reports. Before you say that, if you are in the audience and you are going to speak at citizens' comments, there is a form out there. When you go out to the right side, please give that to Tom Schneider. Administrative reports.
Good evening, CRA Board. Just some quick updates on the rebranding initiative. We have evaluated 2 RFPs, one for public relations services and one for advertising services, and those will come before you for bid award on October 23rd at the City Commission meeting. We also have some upcoming bids that are due October 19th and November 2nd. That's for water tank painting services and signage production and replacement, respectively. And I also got word from the city clerk that tonight at midnight, another bid will be posted for the entranceway sign at Griffin Road. Good. So the rebranding is moving along. Going on to the upcoming events, they're listed here in your memo. Most notably, I'm very excited that many of you are attending the Florida Redevelopment Association conference in October. And we have several grand openings that are coming up at Dania Point. TJ Maxx is listed here, but there's going to be a larger announcement for the BrandsMart and many of the other locations in Dania Point. So look for November for a lot of grand openings to occur. Dania After Dark will continue this Saturday, as well as Art in the Hall, sponsored by the Creative Arts Council Advisory Board. We have the Patch Third Saturday Fall Pumpkin Patch coming up on October 20th. And I'm proud to announce that we have scheduled interest meetings for the First Time Homebuyer Program. That will be 2 meetings, one on a weeknight, Wednesday, October 17th from 6 to 7. And the second interest meeting will be on Saturday, October 20th from 10 to 11 a.m. And we encourage members of the public who are interested in this program to attend and get more information. Thank you.
Consent agenda, do we have any pulls?
Move the item.
Second.
No, not on 5, on 7. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Discussion and possible action? Tom, you gonna read that resolution? Or do you have to read the resolution?
Okay. Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Dania Beach Community Redevelopment Agency, the CRA of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, authorizing the proper CRA officials to accept the City Center Community Charrette and Preliminary Action Plan Report prepared by Florida International University, FIU Metropolitan Center, authorizing the advancement of a public-private partnership development initiative for the City Center, providing for conflicts, providing for an effective date.
So this item is essentially a recap of the workshop that we held on October 1st, and it's asking for adoption of the Community Charrette Report and Preliminary Action Plan. And there are lots of details on the charrette and what details came out of the developer focus group as well. And we would like to get approval to move forward with a P3 initiative, particularly looking at the first 3 tasks as outlined in the report. So there's a tentative solicitation checklist and timetable. We're looking at a 1-year period to get this finalized, and the first 3 steps in the process are essential to getting this going in an expedient fashion, so I'm asking for approval for that.
Before I see you, Board Member Grace, I just received this to speak on this topic. Mr. Rodney Collins, did you want to speak on this topic? It's at 7.1, what we just, about the community charrette? No? Okay. Okay, so I'll save you. All right, do we have a motion?
I
and
have
a-
discussion.
You have discussion on that?
I had a comment on number 5.
Oh, you did. Okay. I don't see number 5. I see number 4. Oh, the consent agenda.
Linda Wilson, president of the Friends of Dania Beach Library, and also on the CACAB. I just wanted to point out one thing in the charrette and the workshop and the final document that you have. There was only one historic preservation item noted on that, and that was on the Nyberg house across the street. And there was no mention of the Dania Beach Women's Club at all, which is a historically designated house in the city of Dania Beach. There are others as well. So I just want to make you aware that you should not deny the fact that you have these historic buildings and landmarks. They need to be incorporated into whatever you do in your revitalization. It's extremely important.
You're
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Grace?
Piggyback on what Linda Wilson said, because I was at the Dania Beach Women's Club meeting and luncheon on yesterday. That club was incorporated, if I'm not mistaken, in 1907, and then the add-ons and stuff, I believe, was in 1935. So we definitely want to make sure that there'll be a pertinent part of what we're doing, especially with the Nyberg Swanson House. We have a lot of upgrades that we're planning on doing in this fiscal year to both of those buildings coming up. So I'm hoping that we don't forget to add that very special component, the Dania Beach Women's Club, which actually started out as our first public library in the city of Dania Beach. So we want to make sure that we do all of the due diligence. Now, the other thing I want to say is, because I was very impressed with the workshop. It was very thorough. The gentleman presentation was awesome. We had some concerns, especially when we talked about the home allocation of parts of Dania Beach being below that status that we didn't think was correct, and I thought that $49,000 for certain areas was a little bit low. And so hopefully before, I know we're going to go ahead and accept this on a resolution, but we need to really go back and modify and try to see, especially with the appraisal's office, exactly where we are with the status quo of the home ownership. The other thing is that we did not implement our concerns as to what Dania Beach is going to look like in the next 3 years, because we're going to have all of these entities coming online. So I predict that we'll have at least another 3,000 residents that will be in the city of Dania Beach, and hopefully maybe another 3,000 to 4,000 jobs. So that was another component that we, even though we discussed it, we didn't come to a consensus of where we want to be. So everybody that was in that first charrette meeting brought together some awesome ideas, especially with the arts part of it, and we had not done that for a very long time, and that's going to be something that we're going to be looking at. But as we move forward with this, and we talked about the new ownership of homes instead of absentee landlords and rentals, we want to make sure that Dania Beach is not only growing in one direction, it's growing in all directions for the city of Dania Beach. Thank you.
You want to respond? No? Do we have any other discussion? I think that Board Member Grace hit everything on the head, and thank you, Linda, because it is important that we keep those places, and not only that we keep them, that they're part of the upgrade that's going to happen around this city center. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, the design proposal for the single-family affordable housing development.
So we actually got a very special email today from Broward Sheriff's Office. All of the 6 lots that the CRA has that we're, developing this program around, we now have official addresses for these lots, which I know it seems like a small thing, but it's a really big thing. Now we can, really push through and get these homes developed. I wanted to provide you with renderings of what we feel will enhance the neighborhood. We have 6 lots, and each home is going to have a floor plan that allows for 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lot of sustainable features. It's going to range from about 1,300 square feet to 1,500 square feet. And I wanted to bring it to the board for approval so that we can go ahead and go through the design and the design submittal process with community development to make sure that before we start developing that we really have a sound project. So I wanted you to take a look at what we've been working on and hopefully get your approval.
Do you have it up here for us to see, or you already?
It's currently in
the
the
backup?
agenda backup.
Okay.
So we
I
just want it from the
think
backup.
we could pull it up if we needed to.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm not sure if everyone else went to the backup. Joe, could you please try? And so not only that, so the people in the audience will have a chance to see as well.
The agenda up there?
It's gonna take a while.
7.2.
They look really nice. Yeah, they're right there. They went really fast to it. Can you turn the lights off, Tony?
Sure. If it could be expanded any more,
They can't, if you go,
can
if
you
scroll
go one
down-
page up?
Yeah, like that.
Yes.
Can you go
Bring
up
that out.
again? Can you go up to the map, the first map? Other way. Other way. DeAndre?
There.
Okay. So on this page, you see 4 of the lots. They're all on Northwest 14th Avenue, which is just about 2 blocks away from the patch. And you see that the homes are really clustered together. 2 of them are right across the street from each other. And you'll also notice that there's several vacant lots surrounding those homes. So we feel that development of this kind will really inspire those landowners or investors to, come in and build something alongside the homes that we're building. And maybe there's future potential for additional affordable housing development. If we go to the second map, you'll see the other 2 lots. Those are on Northwest 6th Avenue, close to Northwest 2nd Street. And what separates them is a parcel with a house on it. These 2 lots, they have a lot of potential. We do notice that there are some trees on these lots that are going to be hopefully incorporated into the landscaping plans. And we really think that these 2 homes will help to increase activity in this area because we have some vacant lots there as well, on the west side as well as on the east side. If you go down to the next page, okay, this is for one of the parcels on 6th Avenue. If you go down to the floor plan, you'll see the 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We have an open concept living space, so living, dining, and kitchen. If you go to the next one, this is about 1,300 square feet, also 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and an open floor plan for the living space. And this one has a little bit more of a modern flair. We tried to, mix it up, make it look a little bit more appealing and, just add some character to the neighborhood. If you go to the next, keep going. Okay, for this model, this is a little bit larger at 1,500 square feet. And this also has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Okay, then this one, you'll see that we have 2 homes that sort of look similar. What we did was mirror the floor plans. So on one, you'll see that the large window is on the left, and on the other, the large window will be on the right. This kind of is the most modern plan that we have. We tried to have some clean lines and to kind of just update the neighborhood with something that looks a little fresh and new. If you go down to the next one. Again, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The layout is a little different, but it still has that open concept living space. We have living, dining, kitchen, and the bedrooms are just a little larger on this model. So we're looking at 2 homes with 1,300 square feet and 4 homes with 1,500 square feet. And the price point that we're looking at for these homes is $220,000 to $230,000 maximum. And as you recall, some of you attended a event at another development where they're doing brand new homes, and homes are running for almost $500,000 for 1,500 square feet. So we're going to be at less than half the price for these homes, and that's going to be done with the assistance that we're providing, as well as the fact that we're going to be working with folks that understand the concept of affordable housing.
Is that it? Can you turn the light back on, please? Lights. Could you touch base? I know that when I came here, I recently got an email from Larry Baum and Stellar Homes that also, with that development of actually where we went and we visited Stellar Homes. So those are the homes that are 1,500 square feet and running about $500,000. This developer has agreed to give $82,000 towards the affordable housing contribution that will help the cost of the down payment assistance and potentially future lots. And so whatever we are discussing and possible action, I want this to be included in that even tonight, because I just got this. Even if you would have presented it with it, I don't see how we can turn down free money. So especially towards affordable housing, that is a need in this community and a part of the CRA plan that was implemented 2015. But you wanted to say something? Is your light on? I said it already?
No,
Board Member Grace?
Yeah, I also attended that function, and I thought those homes were nice, but when I looked at the price, and I said, I know that we can do better. And what I'm looking at, and I want to ask you this question, what is the square footage of the smaller bedroom? Because we looked at some of the bedrooms there, and they look over at their property, they was kind of small. And those houses are running from $500,000 to $400,000. So what's the square footage of the small bedroom? And then I want to talk a little bit.
Okay. So the smaller bedrooms in the 1,300 square foot homes, you're looking at a 10 by 10 and a 10 by 12.
Okay. So you just answered my question.
Roughly very similar.
Very, very similar, okay. And I really like, because you mixed it up, no 2 houses really look the same. That's good. And the residents will be able to do a lot of the input as to how they want and what they want their house to look like. Through the chair, to our board director, to the city attorney, I know that we have more lots in the city of Dania Beach, not including the 14 that was outside of the CRA boundaries that we talked about. We have additional lots that are out there. Do you know exactly how many lots that we have out there that's not a part of this and the presentation that we did for Habitat for Humanity?
I think there were roughly 10 lots within the CRA that were not a part of what was transferred over from the city.
That's 24?
So there were 2 lots that were outside of the CRA. There was one lot, I think, in the College Gardens neighborhood
Yes.
that I think is already being allocated for another type of program. And so I would say that there's about 10 lots that are not accounted for in this program.
Okay. So my question probably is to this board, would it be advantageous for us to take a look at deeming those lots to the CRA as long as we're getting this extra money to help us, and also what the county is proposing to give us? I think that we have a chance to upgrade the blighted area with a lot of new development as we're developing Dania Point. At the same time, we will be able to put the new homes in. We will be able to do the painting and the landscaping for the existing homes, which is also a part of what we're talking about. I just think that as long as we got a chance right now, we need to kind of connect the dots and put it all together. And I don't know whether it should come before this board or whether it should come before the Dania Beach Commission as a, the other entity. But I think it's something that we need to discuss and brainstorm and think about, that we can pull those lots in with the 6 that you already have.
I have a question, so now I'm confused. When we gave you the 6 lots, we gave CRA the 6 lots additionally, there were 14 extra lots, like 12 to 14 extra lots? And so,
Correct.
Okay, outside of that, there are no more lots other than those, or we only own that 14?
Well,
There has to be more.
at the time that the list was prepared, I think it was likely a year ago, so I'm not sure if additional lots have been transferred over to the city since then.
What about, I know there is a duplex that the city owns. What are we doing with, do we own any properties that are actual properties, or is it just vacant lots?
Based on the list that was prepared at that time, all of the parcels were vacant.
Okay. Well, I've been an advocate for what you're saying from day one. I think that those vacant lots especially should go to affordable housing, especially in that neighborhood, and especially if you're able to connect with developers and get $82,000 from one development. With the developments that's going on, I can assure that you'll be able to get other funding, and if not, you can, I guess, give them back to the city. But you've done a great job with your presentation, and you've shown that you're going to get this done, and it's going to be done the right way. These homes look better than the Habitat homes, and I'm not sure which organization will be doing each of them, but I am in support of giving those vacant lots that are in the CRA to the CRA.
Board member, chair. If I'm not mistaken, when we had the last presentation, especially with the Habitat for Humanity, those homes were appraised, those lots were appraised at $150,000 collectively. We're not going to lose any money by giving them to the CRA. We're going to gain money, because each one of those homes are going to be valued at 230 plus. We just built a home in my community that the developer is asking $349,000. And I looked at his home and I looked at what you're doing, and I know that we'll be able to sell those homes and have new home buyers in there. That's what I'm really looking for. Home ownership, I want to see no more landlord apartments absentee in my area,
So
in my lifetime, as long as I live in Dania Beach.
with this single-family affordable housing development, are are we in favor of giving the other lots to the CRA that's in the CRA?
I
mean,
am.
I am. I don't know if we're supposed to be voting on this or discussing it. Any other discussion?
I don't have an opposition. I'd like to see how the program works, but I don't know if we can just do it without it going in front of the commission, I think.
Yeah,
Well, if we have the consensus here, I guess we can vote
We can
for
move
it at
forward
the.
with it.
Well, I think what you want to do is just have the list brought back to you, updated, and see where these lots are and which ones make sense.
Yeah,
If there's
So,
some-
but do we
if there's
vote
some
for it
outside
at the
ci-
CRA meeting or at the commission
No,
meeting?
it'll be at the commission, because the city owns the lots, not the CRA.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
don't
so it'll come, Commissioner Brandon, Board Member Brandon Marty?
Absolutely, the list has to be updated, because if I'm not mistaken, there's more than that.
Yes.
That's what we said.
That's not a right count, it's too low. Also, Raquel, I want you to know that as a pilot program is what we gave you this 6 for.
Right.
You did a good job. I love the design of the houses, and especially to piggyback off of my friend over here, I don't want to see absentee owners. Take a look at Federal Highway, that's a result of absentee owners. Take a look at the rest of the city, it's because it's good people like you taking care of your property. So I totally agree that this should first be brought up to date, the list, because there might be more property that we can turn over to give this affordable homes on. And I like the name that they gave it to, something of Dania, what is that?
At home, Daniel.
At home Dania, it sounds really nice. So I'm in favor of us moving forward on this, but with an updated list.
Board Member Savino?
Yep, thank you. I don't think you'll have any issue with any of the commissioners to update, as Commissioner Brandmeier said, bringing up the updated list. I think it's great that there's homeowners that would be there. I think that the one thing that was really key today is that the paper that Stellar Homes came up with.
Yeah.
And, I brought that up with you in discussion at one time, that, when we started talking about the areas being bought out and so on, this is the perfect example of where the developers need to come in and start making money for the affordable housing to accent this program so that we can move forward with it. I think it'll make it a lot easier for the first-time home buyers.
Yep.
And it'll be a lot easier to build these houses in the areas, and there's no reason where these lots need to sit empty.
Exactly.
So,
Awesome.
but I think what we need to key in on, though, is the developers. I think that they'll be willing more to, listen, Dania Point's across the street, why wouldn't they want to build the area up?
Yeah, property value's gonna go up like crazy.
Go ahead.
Sure.
And
I
just-
think you just need to, I think you need to prepare it, and bring it up, as soon as you can, and make a decision.
So, yeah, I'm going to ask that we have all of the information that we can vote on at the next commission meeting. So we have all the information, and we'll be able to look on it at our leisure and be able to vote on it at the next commission meeting. Okay.
Chair,
Yes?
if my memory vaguely gets me to the point that I need to, because, we are seniors and sometimes I go off strip. But I think there were 37 lots at one time. And so we're not even touching the surface.
Well, you
I
have
don't
more
wanna know
wisdom than
whether-
me.
Some of those I know that are not in the
CRA?
CRA, but I think that once we look at what we have, we might be able to pull some of them in. We might.
Okay. Other than that, are we accepting the design proposal?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I second it.
Third? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, the next one is the infamous signal box art proposal by the Creative Arts Council Advisory Board. I'm going to allow, should they speak first or should they,
Can I just open it up?
go ahead.
So this item is brought before you in the same manner in which it was done in 2015, where the CRA, who acts as the liaison for the Creative Arts Council Advisory Board, presents to the CRA Board or the City Commission the recommendation of the Creative Arts Council Advisory Board. And we're following the same procedure as we did in 2015, where we are giving you a chance to look at the art concept and to decide how you want to move forward. Thank you.
So, do you think they should present first or we should have the comments first? What do you all think? Doesn't matter to me.
Present.
Present, okay,
Presentation.
present. Somebody? Are we presenting? CAC? No, they're not presenting anything?
Okay, then that's,
Oh, Joan, we're looking for the chair.
okay.
Hi, Joan Gringer, 604 Northeast 2nd Street.
Hi, Joan.
Hi. This is the 19th, we have 19 and 20. We have done 18 boxes. The way we do this is we do call to artists, where we put all the information out for artists to submit their artwork. In this case, we had them give what they feel. They gave 3 examples of what they feel would be best for their artwork to be put on the box. There are 2 boxes. One is across the street from Attucks Middle School on the Dania Beach side. The other one is on Federal Highway on Southeast First, Southwest First, in front of the Iron Gate business. Okay? Those are the 2. The first one we have decided many, many months ago to do a history box. Okay? We have an artist named Richard Dubose. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Richard.
He's like, I guess he said you got it wrong.
Okay, and he had worked very painstakingly on a mural that was supposed to happen, and it was back and forth, and Richard did a lot of work, did not get paid for any of it. So therefore, when that was declined, after all the political and whatever ramifications, we decided Richard should do the history box. Okay, that's not the history box.
Look, he's right there.
Okay. The history box has 4 sides. We decided to use people from history, deceased and living. Okay? This is all about history. Okay? We have picked people. I need you. This is my historian. Emmanuel, I need you. Please. Okay. There are 3 deceased people that will be put on the box. They have quite a history in Dania Beach. We felt this box is near the school. A lot of kids go to this school from Dania Beach. They would see this box. They would have reason to know who are these people, okay? And they would be admired by them. The 3 deceased people are, this is Emmanuel.
It looked like there's 4 or 5 people
4.
up there. 5
Eli,
people up there.
give me the names.
Sorry. On the box, in the middle, on the left, the top left, you have Chester Bird, who was the first black mayor in Dania Beach. And to the right of him, you have Boise Waiters, who was the first black elected official, died in 1977 at the City Hall, a heart attack. And in the bottom left is Jay Ely himself, who was the first black principal in Broward County at Old Dillard, and he also was the principal at Attucks when it was the high school.
And who's at the bottom left?
The other 2
Who's at
are
the bottom right?
Commissioner Bobby Grace, who has history, who is here, and Tamara James, who is mayor. Both of these people have history in Dania Beach. They live in the neighborhood. The kids know them. They could point to them and say, I want to be like her, to know what they do. This is not about commissioners. This is about history, okay? So the backside, so we put Tamara in her basketball attire for that reason, and Bobby is Bobby.
Where am I?
You're on the left.
That is not me.
Well,
That is not me.
these are all caricatures, which normally, as you know, when you do a caricature, you don't need permission. Like you see on the cover of Time magazine, all these politics and caricatures. All you have to do is change a little thing, you won't need permission. But I'm understanding that we will get permission from the people, from the families of the deceased and our 2 star ladies here. Okay? So, Richard, you want to raise your hand? Richard, this is our artist. He worked very hard on this because we kept making changes. But the next process of this is we, at the CAC, the subcommittee first voted on it because we had many more designs to look at, okay? Then we go to the full CAC for them to vote on it. This is the process for all the boxes that we've ever done. And then the commission votes on it. And then the next process is we contact the wrap company and they clean the box and they put the box up and it's up, okay? So, anyone have any questions?
You want to wait until, you want to speak now or wait till the end?
Excuse me?
The other two.
This is 3 sides. The fourth side is an arm. Do you have that? I sent it to you.
Very nice.
Joe, could you go up to the first image? Thank you.
Yeah. The fourth side is the back side, which you really have to turn around to see, but that's just the arm of the artist creating.
Down. I don't know.
That's not the arm, the arm.
No. I knew that wasn't right.
Go further, maybe it's up. I sent it separately. Oh, it's not there. All right, the fourth side is just an arm creating the artwork, and it's on the back of the box. These 3 images are on the front, the most visible of the box, okay? But the fourth is just the arm. If I would have known, I would have brought it. I did not know I was going to be here.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Thank
that's
you.
the box for the history box, okay? I've been told there are many, I've been sitting in meetings and dealing with a lot of commentation about this. This is just one box. If anyone wants questions about other historians, this is history, we could do another box, okay? Our second
Thank you.
box is an art box, but this, if we want to do another history box, there is another box that has not been put artwork, and we can do a discussion on what to put on that box. But this is the box, not that one, but the
Okay.
history box.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Hold
Before I
on.
go to the
I
second
think we're
box?
going to let all the comments first, and then we'll ask questions.
Do you need me here?
No, ma'am. You
Okay,
can sit
thank
down.
you.
Thank you. Linda Wilson, since hers, I have all of your papers. I have all of your papers here. Claire, I have you. There. Her name, her papers here. She's raising her hand, not class.
Linda Wilson, President, Friends of the Dania Beach Library, and a member of the CAC. Again, going back,
Address.
could you?
We need your address again, sorry.
Friends of the Dania Beach Library,
Oh, it's your address.
President,
Okay.
and the CAC, a member of the advisory board. I just again want to speak to the importance of historic integrity and preservation. You don't have to be dead to have historic value. You can be alive and be representatives of the community that make the community identify with you and make you proud. In this instance, you have 3 or 4 historic people there who are part of the pioneers and should be recognized. And in the location it is across from Attucks High School, I'm sure there are people who go to that school, have no idea who those people are, but maybe this will make them ask the question. The other 2 are representative of people they are well aware of in the community, and they are respected. So they know, and as Joan mentioned, they look up to them and say, if they can do that, look at what I could possibly do in the future. And I think it's really important for us to, as we are doing with the Art of Community grant, honor the legacy. When we do things, we have to look at them with how they represent the community at large in all places. In this specific place, it is well represented for the community. In other boxes, we have always used art themes, but again, we can do other historic people on boxes, and I would encourage us to do that. Not buildings per se, but the people who are important. However, many of those issues may be addressed when we do the 8 markers in the Art of Community grants. So I would like for everyone to keep that in their right perspective. Also that there are parks named for people who have been historic pioneers here. Byrd is one, I know the Jones family has one, and I know the Frost family has one. So there are representations of historic pioneers in this community, but there's always room for more.
Thank you.
Linda.
Rodney Collins, please state your name and address for the record. You all right?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rodney Collins. I reside at 24 Southwest Fifth Avenue, Dania Beach. It has come to my attention this afternoon about some of the artwork that was going to be put on the boxes at Federal Highway and across from Adams Middle School. And I was a little confused by what I saw in terms of the representation of this that was put up there. I had some questions, and I don't know if anybody has an answer for it. In here, we have at the bottom J.A. Ely, and there are 3 individuals here, 2 which you can see, and 1 slightly hidden behind the character that's on the right-hand side that's painting. Can we identify all 3 of these people? One is supposed to be Mr. Ely. And quite frankly, having gone to school under Professor Ely, okay,
You know him?
Professor Ely don't look like that. And as far as I know, never did. So I'm not sure who is supposed to be Professor Ely. But then 2 of the other people are not identified at all. So I don't know who they are and what do they have to do with the history of Dania Beach. I'd also like to point out that we are showing other political figures in here, but we're leaving 2 individuals out that I don't see, and both of them former mayors. One is Robert Chun, and the other is Al Jones. I don't see either one of them there either. So if this is going to be a history representation, then they're off the mark big time, okay? And I certainly would want to relegate someone to the back of the box. So however that's going to be done, those people either should be on the front or maybe the side or something like that, but not the back. Also, I'm not sure as to why the history that we're depicting concentrate on the political history of the town. I mean, there's a lot of other history out there of this town. And 1, this is not complete, and 2, it's not representative. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Now, I had to peruse this for a while to figure out what I was looking at, because I couldn't figure out what these 4 red figures were in the front and what were they doing. But I assume after a while, these are the people that were putting this thing up, or whatever the case might be, like it's a large mural. But at any rate, this requires a lot more work and effort, and it certainly does not reflect the history of Dania Beach. And I say that even though it really tells us about the black political history of Dania Beach and not the political history of Dania Beach at all. Now, maybe because of the location, okay, we'll make some allowances for that. But the fact of the matter is this is not complete, and I'm not sure whether across the street from Adams Middle School, maybe we should have an educational history of this community, because there's plenty of that too that we have seemingly overlooked, and might be a better question that the children should be asking: who is that and who is that, and why are they here? So that maybe we can round it out. We're going to pretty much know, the kids going to know who the political history is. I mean, because they see it every day. Some of us live in our neighborhoods, so we know who's who. But I don't think some of these representations here are very accurate. Now, I would more prefer to see an educational history rather than put black political history there.
Thank you.
So anyway, that's
Thank you,
my
Mr.
thought.
Collins.
Have at it.
No, he can speak.
What? No, we're gonna go through all of the things. We're gonna get through all of the things, and then Claire Frost.
The box that's over near Frost Park, I would
Could you please
like-
state your name and address for the
Claire
record?
Frost, 642 Northeast 3rd Street, Dania. The box over there off of Northeast 1st Street and Federal Highway, I would propose and hope that they would use that one about the history of Dania. Dania meaning Little Denmark. Possibly my grandfather, A.C. Frost, could go up there. The Danish flag, he brought the Danish families down to farm tomatoes. We could possibly have the tomato farming pictures, the Danish flag, a history of the founder. Flagler brought my grandfather down. And little known to me, I'm not too proud of it, right there where the wrought iron store is, my father, Dink Frost, one of A.C. Frost's many kids, owned a garage, a car repair garage there. And I just reunited with my stepsister, who's 89 years old, up in Chipley. She told me that my father worked on Al Capone's car in that building. Not that I'm proud of it, but I like where that last remaining box is. It's near Frost Park, and I would like to propose that the Danish farming community, family, Frost, Danish families came down and started Dania Beach. Thank you.
Thank you. Emmanuel George. Please state your name and address for the record.
Emmanuel George, 17 Northeast 2nd Avenue. I always say there's three things you can't say no to, and that is children, elders, and history. And the fact that it is across from addicts, it's creating conversation. I don't think you can find an entire history of the black side of Dania Beach within 4 sides. That is literally impossible. Because you have many people from the Collins to Boise Waiters to Chester Bird to the Robinson family to the Green family to the Paradise Club to Dania Bar to the Dania Redbird. So it's impossible to find history within 4 sides. So to say that is that this is creating the conversation, and that's all that's needed. Sorry, it's just kind of like an emotional thing for me because it's something that I was curating. And so that's what I want to say is just creating a conversation because you can't say no to Boise Waiters being the first black elected official in Broward County history, and I believe he died in this room, if I'm not mistaken, in 1977. Chester Bird, first black mayor in Broward County, and that picture of Jay Ely, the 2 people next to him, that came from the Hollywood Historical Society from Karen, and that was given. I also seen another picture of Jay Ely at Old Dillard Museum. So the picture at Old Dillard Museum is the actual picture of Jay Ely. But again, it's creating a conversation because many people my age don't even know who Jay Ely is and his importance. So, and then Bobby Grace, she's still alive here, and Tamara's still alive. So let's give them
I hope so.
let's give them their roses while they're here. We shouldn't have to wait till they're 6 feet under. And Bobby Grace being the first black woman to be mayor in Dania Beach. That is an accomplishment within itself. Tamara James, besides the political aspect, South Broward alumni, broken many records. I believe she's an all-time leading scorer in UM too. So, so just look past the political side, and she had her Tamara James Foundation in 2007, which was happening even before she even decided to become a mayor thing. So it is not more of a political thing. It's more so just to create conversation. And again, you cannot have an A through Z of local black history within 4 sides. But what we can do is start to create that conversation.
Thank you. Ronnie. I don't see her. Veronica Larkins? Oh, I didn't even see you back there. I was trying to look for Ronnie. Okay, breast cancer, you're in the spirit. Please, leave
Good
your
afternoon. My
message.
name is Veronica West Larkins. I live at 211 Northwest 12th Avenue. I would like to turn around and say, CRA, thank you for having this meeting tonight. I'm very proud, and it's just utmost and uplifting to me. To the artists that did this creation, this is so beautiful. This is something that my kids, my grandkids can look forward to. I much rather look at this than the past-bound Fifth Avenue and look at concrete poles and wooden poles. We can take all of those people that Emmanuel George was speaking of and put them in that empty field on Fifth Avenue. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Stephen Jones. Please state your name and address for the record.
Stephen Jones, 4930 Southwest 29th Way. I understand that when picking murals to represent a city in the cities is kind of hard because then ego comes in and people like, oh well, my family should have been here or this family. But like the lady said, it's 17 of them. This is only one. The artists work very long and hard on this at the numerous changes. The concept I like. We hardly see women get glorified in cities. So him picking Bobby Grace and Tamara James, well, Bobby Grace been doing things in the city since 1980 and have over 30 recommendations and awards. And Tamara James been in the city, born and raised, and representing for forever. And she's a Hall of Fame. And a lot of people, women, that will show them that they can look up to somebody like Bobby Grace and Tamara James. That, oh yeah, she did go to the WNBA and played overseas and didn't get big-headed. She came back and still was helping her city and still here and became mayor. She didn't go run off and buy no big house out west. She's still here in the hood. So that's all I want to say.
How you know I'm in the hood? Rich Obby. Said I'm poor. He just called me poor. Yeah. Please state your name and address for the record.
Richard Aubie, 675 Southeast 2nd Avenue. Good evening, Mayor, Vice
Good
Mayor,
evening.
and Commissioners.
Good evening.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. About a year or two ago, Commissioner Marco put me on the Creative Arts Council. It's been a great year or so. Thank you for doing that. It's been a learning experience. I'm glad that I'm here today because I have a passion for what we're speaking of today. I believe in progressive history. I see that our city is growing. We got a lot of buildings going up, and we need to keep the history alive. And I feel these boxes are a great way to do that. And they're very relatable to the youth. This is just art. I'm listening to some of the people speak. It's art, and you're not going to get art that everybody is going to be in love with. And you're not going to, and then there's going to be art that everybody does love. It's hard to find. It's just art, and not everybody's going to love it. But I can tell you, personally, I think it's a great rendering of you guys. Both of you guys inspire me. All of you inspire me, just being in leadership positions and doing what you do. But Mrs. Grace, when I was here a couple weeks ago and you were reading your resume, kind of, well, I think Commissioner Chicky was or somebody. It was long. It was very long, and I almost like, it's very long, and I was like, wow, how awesome is that? You inspire me, as well as Mayor Tamara. You're from my school, South Broward High. I'm a white middle-aged man, and you inspire me.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you do, and you always have, and you're part of the reason that I step out of the box and that I want to help our city. Some of the other things I wanted to say, there's a lot of children who will see those boxes, and they can relate with the art. And that's who you want to inspire, is these children in these communities over here that need to see art like that so they can relate. All the other people that we spoke of, they are all very important to who we are today. But it's the people that they can relate with right now. I mean, look at So many, here you look at this picture, you can grow up to either be a great basketball player or a mayor or an Indian chief, whatever it may be. It inspires them, and it's right in their backyard. I love the saying that you said last week, a couple weeks ago. Give flowers while you're still alive. I would love to acknowledge you, and I hope these boxes do get passed. And there's other boxes that we can do other stuff with. Thank you.
Thank you. Ivy Cure. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is A. Ivy Cure, and I want to speak on the
Your address.
209 Northwest.
I know where you live. Oh, you don't want them
209
to know where you
Northwest
live?
14th Court, Dania Beach. And I wanted to speak on the art. Good job, young man. My issue is, it's not a political thing. It's really not. It just so happened that you guys are in politics. You guys are great. And another thing, you did not ask to be on the box. They asked us at a meeting who would we in the community, in our community, like to see on the box. And we chose Bobby Grace and Tamara James. Everybody can't be on the box. It's only, like you say, 4 corners of the box. If that's the case, you can put me on the box, because I'm great. So, yes, I am. But I would rather, because they're hands-on. These 2 people are hands-on. You always see them in the community doing work. And so is Chun. Robert Chun is always hands-on. But these 2 always active, just helping people, just always, this one here just gonna run like a little rabbit till she just get tired. So, and it's not say, so we only have 1 box out of the entire city. There's only 1 box that we could recognize our people in our neighborhood. It is our neighborhood because you gave it to us. You're taking it back, but you gave it to us. So it's only 1 box that we have in the neighborhood. So this is who we want on the box. And if you could add somebody else maybe on the back side. Didn't he say somebody on the back side? It's his hand, so you got, okay, leave the hand, you're the artist. So we'll leave it like with the hand. But I'm just saying, everybody can't be on the box. So, and it's not a political thing. Let's not make it out of, it just, just so happen you guys in politics, it's not a political thing. And it's not a thing whether you like you or not. It's the right thing to do in our neighborhood. Is give us what we asked for. We got only 1 box out of how many boxes?
A lot.
A lot.
I don't
So they gave us 1. So we just gotta do what we gotta do with 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glenn Rice. Please state your name and address for the record.
It's Glenn Rice, 31 Northwest 6th Avenue. Originally, I was here tonight to defend the 2 ladies' honors because of conversation that I've been hearing about this the mural and the negative conversation. One of them was, and I really don't want to go negative tonight because everybody, since Joan and everybody else has been so positive, and then I see this, and it is really beautiful. And so I did write down like this, I want to speak in the positive. The 2 ladies I happen to know of, Mayor James and Bobby Grace, Commissioner Grace, are both worthy and deserving to be on this mural because they are both historical and a legend. Of course, Mayor James, for her achievement at the University of Miami, which, Hall of Fame and all of that, and then going on into a professional career in basketball. And then Miss Grace for her being a legend in politics, historical, first female. Well, everybody has said what I've said already. So, and I just think by placing your faces on this mural while you're alive makes for a great conversation. Again, what everybody else has said also tonight. And it makes also for the kids to speak, to talk, to ask you how they can be like you are and have been. And again, I give credit to the artists there. That is one of the most beautiful, whatever you call it, mural or painting that I've seen. Anyway, I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Grace.
Are they done? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Commissioner Grace had, we're going to have discussion, so Commissioner Grace had her light.
You will never hear me apologize for who I am, because I am who I am. I didn't get here easy. It was a hard road, but I got here. I went to Attucks Middle and High School. I graduated in the class of 1963. I have always been a role model, not only for Dania, but for Hollywood and Broward County. I don't take seconds to anyone because my mom and dad told me always try to be first. And that is who I am. I know that you want certain people on the signature boxes, and that's good. But as they indicated, we all can't be on there. It's only room for a few. If that was the case, I would only tell you, only put Bobby H. Grace on the signature box. That wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be. Chester Bird was not only my mentor, but he was an educator. He was a principal. Boise Waiters was the president of the Dania Housing Authority that had his office right across the street in the trailer in front of my house, where we always help people get homes. He was the first one to move the homes on Sterling Road to where they are now. It would be tragedy if we did not honor these two people, because they were great in their own era. If it was not for a Boise Waiters and a Chester Bird, there probably would never have been a Bobby Grace sitting on this dais. It wouldn't have been possible. But as Chester was leading me, along with Gene Cook and Howard Hirsch, in the right direction for trying to be a politician, I said absolutely not. I love passing out flyers for you guys. I love making the phone calls. I love meeting the people. I love going to the meetings and stuff. I love representing you when you can't be there, that I'm your liaison person that you want. I don't want us to go back to 1989, when it was very hard for me to become an elected official sitting on this dais. We are 2018, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving forward in the right direction. We're not going to start this again. This city is so diverse. In my neighborhood, you would never have thought that we have as many Hispanics and whites that are living in my neighborhood. In the 1960s and the 50s, you would have never seen that. But if you go down the street now, you see it, we're all one. We're all one. I am honored that you have chosen me. I don't know who that person was on that picture. You guys are going to have to get another picture, or you're going to have to take another picture of me, because I looked at that and I said, maybe that was one of those nights that, well, I don't drink, I can't tell you that, so you're not going to even believe that. But my family has a lot of history, as the Collins family, the Mizell family, the Chambers family, the Curry family. I wish we can put us all on there. And let me tell you this is not the ending, it is the beginning, because we're coming back at the end of this year and asking for you to rename some streets. One of the streets is going to be the Ryan family, one is going to be the Collins family, and you might even see a Grace name pop up here and there. But it is the right thing to do. Don't single me out because you don't like me. Heck, I don't like half of you guys, okay? But that's not why I'm elected. I'm elected to serve as a representative of the city of Dania Beach. Personalities should never get in the way of this job. I have never, ever turned down a phone call, whether you were for or against me, because it's the right thing to do. I want us to move forward. I need my colleagues to move forward and to accept the signature box as is, except that one lady that I'm not really sure who she is, but I guess you guys will tell me. I think it's an honor. I really do, and a pleasure. My family is not here, but they will thank you also. I am an Attucks alumni. In 1996, we revamped to be a part of the Attucks Middle School. We have over 500 alumni that really help take care of Attucks Middle School. I am the ringing queen until 2019 for the Attucks alumni. We have scholarships that we have given to not only the kids at Attucks Middle School, South Broward, Hollywood Hills, but we have given to scholarships all over Broward County. Don't single us out because of who's on this side and who's on that side. Single us out because it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Board Member Brandon Marty.
Yeah, here comes the one you're going to not applause for, but ask me if I care. If I picked up the phone and I called up every person on the east side and told them I needed them here, they would have been here too. But I'm used to facing anything that I have to head on, and I will. Take Frost back there. I want to go with Miss Frost back there. She's absolutely right. And you also, sir, you're absolutely right. It's become political. There is no other way but political. Mr. Frost, A.C. Frost, was the founding father of Dania. Dania was founded by the Danish people. The things that she pointed out is nothing but the truth. A.J. Ryan, in 1925, opened the first real estate office and built the Dania Beach Hotel. Mrs. Ryan opened the first library and what is now called the Lions Club. Frank Salvino, family of farmers, tomatoes, family that gave us the name the tomato capital of the world. Charlie Mack, where is this going? Is there a different message than the one that I'm seeing? This is political. It is nothing but political. Because, huh?
Can we?
No, they're not rude. If they want to talk bad about me, I love them anyway.
It doesn't matter.
No,
I know. Let's give her.
That's
Let's give her the
saying that
opportunity.
because
Hold on, board member.
You girls know how I
board
feel
member Brandon
about
Marty,
you.
give me 1 second.
I'm passionate about this, and I'll speak passionate about it.
It is gone.
All right? To go on, the Collins family. How the hell could we ever forget the Collins family or the Ford family or the Jesse Davis family or the Peterman family or the Hankerson family? The history of Dania Beach is full of pioneers that contributed to Dania Beach in many important ways. To me, that ain't what this is about. Okay? This is not about history. Plus, the Arts Council was not founded on that, but it was for art. It wasn't for putting political faces on boxes at all. People will still be running in the future. It's an unfair disadvantage. That's another item on this. What makes me the most heartbroken of all is the fact from day one, when you became our mayor, you taught us what? That we are what? We are a team, and that you are a team player.
I am.
There is no I in the word team.
I didn't say it was. I don't know why you're looking at me
There
like that,
are
but you need to
five commissioners,
calm down.
and all 5 of us bring unique knowledge and importance to this commission. This commission is the reason why you are seeing such a beautiful growth in this city. It took the 5 of us. It didn't take 2 in the past history. It took 5 in the present, meaning today. The commission will be the reason that your taxes probably would be lowered even next year. This commission, all 5 of us as a team, even when very hard decisions had to be made, even though at times residents were very angry, especially in the COM project. I mean, 100 people walked out of here ready to tear us apart or maybe kill us right here because we agreed on the COM project, the 2 Twin Towers, because we were the commission putting 14 stories up the first time in the city. That's a big history. Each and every one of us has served our city with great enthusiasm as a team. We all deserve our unique qualities to be honored in any way possible. There is no I in team, and I venture to say that the residents that I did not pick up a phone and say, please come to tonight's meeting, they agree with me. They totally agree. This is nothing but a political farce. I know Bobby Grace, and I know what she's worth, and she's worth even far more than that ugly face that's on that box, because she ain't ugly. She's beautiful.
Hold on, y'all.
And I
Y'all,
mean it,
let
Bobby.
let
You're
her be
beautiful.
her. Let her be her.
Bobby is
Let her be
beautiful.
her.
That doesn't even begin to depict what she looks like. And the fist, I want somebody to please make with your hand a picture of what's on the back of that box. I want to see it. You're very good at this. Stand up and show me what's on the back of the box.
This is not a circus. This
No,
is not a
I
circus.
want a picture of a hand up, what's on the back of that box.
No, you can't speak from there. You can't speak from there. You can't speak from there. If you're going to speak.
I didn't mean him to marry.
Okay, but
I want to see the picture of the fist on the back of the box.
Hold on. Don't worry about it. It ain't.
Black power.
No, it's not.
Thank you. I heard you say that, and I hope you all heard that, even out there
She's
on
not
the
the
TV.
artist. Can I pass this to you so you can see what's on the this is on the back.
The east
Oh,
side
she
of
wants it.
Dania Beach. All right, Vice Mayor Harris is always the first. This is a unique person. I heard what I heard, all right? That's good enough for me. Vice Mayor Harris is always the first person on our entire 5-man commission that is the one that will volunteer to go to any event with the League of Cities, which are sometimes so boring. Anything that we don't go to, he makes sure that he goes to. Commissioner Salvino, first to donate bicycles for any cause. He wouldn't care what it's about. I'm fighting for everybody's rights, not just the rights of a few people. My record, it speaks for itself. I don't have to be on a picture. Even when we're under such adverse circumstances, we stuck together as a team. This is dividing the city. And I apologize to the Collins family because it seems like they had it right. This is exactly what it is. It's political. When you look at things like this, the east side of Dania Beach, we get the short end of the stick. We don't have an oasis project. We have no pools. We pay higher water bills, higher taxes, and higher food prices, and we practically float the city.
Wow.
And that's my feeling on the whole thing. I will not in any way vote for this because it will separate and not make us unity in the community. And
Please,
after all of the work that we've done, I will not see this community become divided.
Excuse me. We got to get through this because we have another meeting coming up. Y'all, we have to get through this. We have other comments. Thank you. Board Member Salvino.
Thank you. You know, listening to both sides of this, and just to point out a few things. You know, earlier in the meeting, we were talking about the 6 lots that we gave the CRA and building a community and improving the areas. Those areas, you know, just to connect all the dots, improving that areas. The gentleman there stated he lived at 1 Northwest 6th Avenue. Is that right, sir, or close to that? And that's is that as who was saying that somebody called the Hood a little while ago? I don't think that is. I think that's the West Side. And then Commissioner Gracious said that there's Hispanic and there's white and there's everybody else in the community. So now you're mixing it. So all of a sudden, whose community is it? I thought it was Dania Beach was a community. And you know, and with this being said, all of a sudden, you know, you go out there and you start taking our community. As the mayor stated, we were a team. A team can consist of the whole city. You know, the more that you keep going into that direction, the more you will divide the city. And I don't understand that. You know, when we started going through the Arts Council back when I first became on the board, I remember the Arts Council, and I remember the conversations that were brought up, and the conversations were that everything was going to be artful of what the Dania Beach represented as far as the sea, downtown districts, schools, things of that nature. Nothing was ever brought up about faces. Listen, you know, if you think that this is important to put somebody's face on here, I suggest you table the whole thing and redo all the boxes and pick out all the important people and put faces on all 16 boxes.
Yes.
And then that way there won't be a controversy of whose face is on there. Mr. Collins over there, I mean, he's involved. Every time I turn around, I see him at some function and doing something and speaking up and well-spoken as it is. I think his family was deprived of that. They got a school named after him. Yep. I mean, you know, so as far as picking out faces, I mean, and take nothing away from Bobby. You know, I don't know why people are rude and talk like, I didn't interrupt anybody. I said her nice and quiet. Try to be as respectful, please. You know, and Commissioner Grace, you know, everybody knows how wonderful she is, and she's done so much for the community. I've even told her I would love to have something done for her before she leaves office. Did I ask you that, Commissioner? And I told her, I said, because I think you've given to this community a lot. Everybody recognizes what she's done. As far as Mayor James, everybody knows that she's done great. You know, how proud can this city be that you had somebody in the University of Miami in the Hall of Fame, a high scorer in person in her school, to be able to travel the world and be on the WNBA? Sure, we're proud of her. But that doesn't set a fact that faces have to be on the box, and that their faces are in the community. And again, she's going to be running for election, I hope, in 2 years. If she doesn't, she can't be up on it. She'd have to take it off again. You know, the whole point of this is that I'm opposed to faces, period. I just think that if you want to put faces out there and then the community wants faces, then every single person, you form a committee, you pick out the historical people, the historical things, and you put everybody's face on the boxes for a year or two, tear them down and start over. But to select 2 people and start over there in the community, which is the city of Dania Beach, I'm opposed to it. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you speak, Board Member Vice Chair, and then Board Member Grace, and then me, and then we have to end the meeting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Yeah,
Great.
Thanks to all of you for coming tonight. I just want to add a few things about artistic interpretation. I think Emmanuel said it when he has started the conversation with what we're talking about tonight. The conversation has started. I mean, when art was first recognized hundreds or thousands of years ago, it was up to interpretation. When the first Picasso came out, nobody liked it. They thought it was crap. So this is furthering the conversation. So we have tasked the Creative Arts Council, Henriette, Joan, Linda, Lewis, and other members who are here, who I'm not sure who's on it now, but they have worked long and hard to try to bring something to the table to put on the box. And that's great. Not everybody's going to like it, but like I just said, not everybody's going to like the first Picasso either. But I think we furthered the conversation. And there'll be more boxes. So if this is the box for now, I mean, my thoughts were for when Bobby mentioned Addicts Eagles, let's do another box with the Addicts Eagle on one side and the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Eagle on the other side, and do a commemoration for those that lost their lives. And even do a box or a side of the box for Chris Hickson, because he lost his life. And we created a scholarship for him. So there's all kinds of things that we can do, that this is not the be-all or end-all. But if that's your interpretation of what we want to do now at this time on that particular box, I think we should do it, because next week our opinions are going to change, our lives are going to change, and there might be another significant event in history or our lives that we can do another box to. So the conversation has started. I like what is happening. I like the black and white and the fade to red and all that. So I don't know what everybody's getting so upset about. It's becoming very divisive, but it's art. It's art. I mean, drive by any other part of Wynwood or Fort Lauderdale or Hollywood and look at those parking garages and everything else. It's art. Everybody says, oh, I don't like that. But you know what? That's art. Or you walk into somebody's houses and you see a painting on the wall or a picture on the wall, say, what were they thinking when they put that up there? But it's art. So everybody just get used to the art. It's art. Let's do it and bring it. And then bring more. Because we've had this CAC for how many years in the city now? 5, 6, more? I was on it too. And I know you want projects, so.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so it's art. So everybody just, it's art. It's art. Let's look at it. It's art.
Board Member Grace, this is the last thing, and then I'm
Well,
gonna wrap it up.
I'm ready to make a motion. I know that you have some conversation, so.
I'm not. I'm. From what I've just heard, I'm not. I don't have to speak. I don't have to speak.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept what the Creative Council has given us, and if y'all want me to, I can paint another picture of me if you don't like the one that they're putting up.
Do we have a second?
I will second it.
Call the roll, please.
Board Member Brandemart?
No.
Board Member Grace?
Yes.
Board Member Salvino?
No.
Vice Chairman Harris?
Yes.
Chairman James?
Yes.
3-2, carried.
Board Member, excuse me, we got to finish the reading, y'all, sorry. Board member comments. Board member Salvino.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I spoke with Raquel this week, and I brought up an idea that I thought might be great for the kids on a Friday night type of thing, that at City Hall, maybe using some of the CRA funds or maybe getting some sponsorship. You know, a lot of families don't have funding to go out, or the movies are very expensive, and, you know, just so on and so on. I thought maybe we could do, you know, on Friday nights, and maybe some bounce houses down here in the park, and, you know, have a couple more things go on that the kids could enjoy, where it'd be like a family night out in the city that would.
To add to that, the Parks Director, because I was at a meeting yesterday with some of our board members speaking about these schools, and one of the things in getting these families involved, they're going to start like a First Friday. I know that they're going to do like family activities and then like a big movie on a big projector.
Yeah, that's
just
good.
to try.
You
So
know,
I think they're
maybe,
going to already do that.
Sponsors and stuff. Maybe we can get them some drinks.
So you
and
can get
some
with
cupcakes
him,
just like we do in the Christmas thing.
So get with Eric Brown.
Yeah,
He
all
was
right.
the one that
But
was standing
I
yesterday.
think that's something that the families in Dania Beach or even wherever would like to have a night out that doesn't cost the families a lot of money.
Thank you.
And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Board member Grace. We have like
I'm
nine.
passionate about this city. I'm passionate about the residents, and I'm so thankful and grateful for you, for your decision tonight. Thank you so much.
Board member Brandon Marty.
I agree about having more stuff for the children. We need it. We certainly do need it. I wish we could bring in a big movie screen for them.
But she's going to do that.
Yeah, that's very important, and maybe we could even get a popcorn machine or something.
Yeah,
let's
the
buy
parks.
one.
The parks director is going to have like family nights. That's
Very
just
good,
said.
thank you.
Vice Chair.
Anybody who's out there tonight who has some ideas for art, bring it to the CAC members, and we'll get it out there, because there's no such thing as bad art. It's all good.
That's your opinion.
So bring it.
You can see me draw.
That's it. No, you can't. No, we have to prepare for the other meeting. I would like to say this at my comments, some of them. There are a few individuals that want to keep this city divided, and they're the ones that make phone calls to these commissioners and send emails because they don't have the power they used to have. I am a team player. That's why I haven't been the most talented, but everybody has wanted me on their team. And understand, today might be my day and tomorrow might be yours. And just because one person is honored doesn't mean that you're not acting as a team. I can remember almost 2 years ago when there was a shooting out here, and that coward was killing our kids and causing hell in our city. And I called each of y'all. Commissioner Grace was the only one that was out of town, to stand with me, to represent the residents, what we were elected to do, and y'all left me by myself. Y'all left me by myself. I stood up here and had to look the families in their eyes who just lost their 8-year-old baby to gun violence, and none of y'all showed up. Don't talk to me about what a team is. I know what a team is. And I also know you have to carry a team when they don't want to show up. I've never tried to single point anyone out, period. So all that about is no I in team, it's I in win. And that's what I bring to this table. I don't need to go down my accolades of who I am and what I bring to the city. I know. My resume speaks for me. But don't ever try to make me feel like I had some, I don't know. I had no conversation with the artist, and I want to thank you. Your art is beautiful. You worked hard on it. You worked on the mural with the Collins family that was presented to us, and no one had anything to say about it, and we all voted on a face to go on the side of a building. We all did. There was no conversation about that. It was no hate. It is so many great pioneers in this city. If they came and they wanted to put a box with Mr. Frost, I would be the first one to say, let's do it. There's no hate in my heart for anybody and anything that they have done for free for this city. I am not just a mayor. I am not just a basketball player. That perfectly represents me. You could be anything you want to be. I never wanted to serve in politics because I never wanted to have to sit in this seat and have to deal with this foolishness. It is 2018. There is no room for so much hate in your hearts. Life is too short. We vote on it and we move on. At the end of the day, I'm going to still speak to y'all, whether y'all like me or you don't, whether you speak back or you don't. But our job is to do the best that we can for the residents. And while we're discussing this, yesterday I spent 2 hours in the Education Advisory Board meeting where they're trying to send our kids to a D school that no one has been to. At the table with things that matter. Our kids, 200 of our kids go to Bethune Elementary and it's a D school. That's what matters. We're going to have about 3,000 people coming into our city in the next few years. Where are they going to school? That's what matters. We're upgrading our parks, but our school facilities look like trash, but they're A schools. That's what matters. All this other stuff don't even matter to me. And I don't mean to get emotional, but when I think about team and when I think about the times where I've been standing alone, I never put negative things in the press about they didn't come stand with me. Shame on them. I take that. And so I thank y'all for showing up. That's what communities do. There's no informational items. Meeting is adjourned.